What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 10-7 MMA show. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties as we started the show. Sorry, we're starting a little bit late, and we're just making sure that my audio is working. Louisa, can you hear me? No problem. Okay, so we're just making sure. Justin was having some trouble hearing me, and he's joining from his phone, not from his computer. So that's why there's a holdup. Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me as we're getting started and people are rolling in. We got a lot to talk about this Friday. Holy smokes. Pretty lots of stuff going on top of UFC 318, but we got a bunch of pieces of news that have come out, some scandals about sports memorabilia, which is crazy. So we're gonna chop it up on everything. Justin, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All
Yeah,
right,
you're having audio issues as well?
well, I was, but I think I fixed it. There was something wrong with my mic, but now it's all good. We got MGAL4 Production saying, sup, Andrew Nance in the mix, LFG. That's right. Ooh, MGAL4 Productions. What's that? Awesome. So we're coming through clear. Louisa just told me MGAL4 Productions says he's going to 319. I'm going as well. Let's go. I got some pretty cool seats. Celine says, hi, who's Zayfa? And hi, Justin. Celine, it's great to have you back. Welcome to the show. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Je parle un peu de français. Okay, so we got MGAL4 Productions. We need the old Costa back. Bro, we got to talk about Costa. Have you seen the clips, by the way? We're going to talk about that mashup in a second. Have you seen the clips of Costa from the presser tweaking?
Say that again. You just cut out. Say that again.
Have you seen the clips? Oh, King Turzy says, let's go. What's up? Oh, Tehran's going to be at 319. Yo, we got the whole crew. We might have to have a meetup at 319.
10-7 party, man. 10-7 party, unfortunately.
So, dude, have you seen the clips of Costa tweaking at the presser?
No, I haven't seen those.
Hold on. I got to show this to Justin. This is insane. I don't know what's going on with Paul. People are saying that he must have had a hard weight cut. Hold on. Costa press conference. Here, look at this. This is nuts, dude. Okay, check this out. If you guys haven't seen this either, this is insane.
You've got one Russian across from you this weekend.
Look at him.
Paulo, you've got one Russian across from you this weekend. You've talked more specifically. You've got unfinished business with another Russian, more specifically from Chechnya. If he's tuning in this weekend, what's your message to Khamzat Chimaev?
Yes, you guys know about that already. Everybody knows about that. We have a, mutual hate. After this fight, I'm going to send a message for him. But until then, we need to wait to watch. And because my focus right now is on this guy. So I need to focus on him. But, of course, I have a plan after that. And I have unfinished business with Gourmet Chechen, Chimaev. And, yes, I'm going to face him sooner or later.
You've got one Russian.
Justin, what do we make of this? What's going on from your experience as a fighter?
Well, you talk about having like a hard weight cut, and that doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah,
I've had some of the hardest weight cuts to where you don't move more. You want to curl up in a ball and lay there and not move at all. And I've had some of the. I mean, I went from 185 to 145 in 4 weeks. I was crying. Like I remember, that's. I don't know, man. That's strange. Tweaking is the only way to really describe that, man. Like,
well,
I'm not gonna make any bold accusations, but that's why he doesn't look well.
We do have some theories in the chat. Let me highlight them. So some pretty high level theories from Muttball. He says cocaine, one word. Andrew Nance also has one word, meth. Could be either of those. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if it's that. I don't know what's going on. But
it sure looks like cocaine or meth to me.
I mean, that's crazy to me.
I just didn't want to say that.
What I imagine this means, regardless of whatever it is, yo, man, you got to bet the house on Kopylov, dude. Kopylov looked crazy, too, in his last fight. So this makes me think all the more. He fought Chris Curtis, too, right, recently?
I'm not sure. Chris Curtis just come off a win last weekend. I'm not sure where Kopylov – you think it was his last fight prior to that?
Yeah, it might be. Hold on. Let me double-check his record. And I know we're going to talk about Kopylov in a second, but yeah, his last one was against Chris Curtis, but now I know Chris Curtis has a win since, but he beat Cesar Almeida and he knocked out Chris Curtis with a head kick TKO. Ooh. Yeah, no, Kopylov's no joke, dude. I don't know. I was already picking Kopylov. We'll get to that fight in a little bit. Jake Furman says, jealous of you guys going to 319. Yeah, man, it's going to be insane.
I'm not going.
Right. Muttball says almost of Adderall. I don't know what that means, but Damn, 185 to 145, Terrell says, you pretty much killed yourself to make featherweight. When you did that cut, what did you feel like you were honestly like kind of close to death at any point?
It was the hardest cut I'd ever done in my life. I had never cried before. I stepped on the scale, and I stepped on the scale twice. And the first time I stepped on, it was 146.1, and I just fucking crumbled. That 0.1, I was just like, I do not want to get back in the bathtub. And Dennis is like, all right, we got to fucking go. Like, and I'm just laying on the ground. And so I put sweats on. I put a sauna suit on, put some sweet sweat on. And all I could do is I'd stand up, and then Dennis would push me back on the ground. And then I'd stand up, and then he'd push me back down. And that's all the energy I could have to do. And I tell you what, it affected my performance so much. I mean, it affected everything. Like when we were in the back the next day, like I couldn't even get a sweat going during the warm-up. And like me and Roman are cracking mitts, and I'm looking at my skin, and I'm like, dude, I'm not sweating at all. And I weighed like 180 pounds. It felt like I had cinder blocks in my legs. I couldn't hardly move. It was very just thump, like thudding. Imagine like walking through mud with boots. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it felt like to walk around. And I know we're getting off on me, but we're supposed to be talking about Paulo Costa. But man,
No,
those weight cuts are brutal, man. And that's why like Gavin Tucker was such. It's like, man, and then in the first round I dropped him. Boom, 2 minutes. And you know what's funny? I talk about like walking in mud. The reason I switched my stance when I threw Gavin, I threw an overhand right, and I stepped up with my right leg, and I hit him with a left uppercut.
Yeah.
The reason I switched my stance was because of the weight cut. Because again, the weight cut made my legs feel so heavy, I couldn't keep my feet under me. So I found myself walking at him a lot when instead of like bop bop bop, you know, I'd be almost falling over because my legs felt so heavy. So bet the house against Paulo Costa right now. He's whether it's weight cut induced, whether it's drug induced, and I would assume drug induced, bet the house against him.
Yeah, that's basically what I would do if I were betting. We got one more comment from King Tersey, and then we're going to begin the show because we got a big UFC card tomorrow, plus a lot of other crazy stories we need to cover. King Tersey says, comes out going crazy in training right now. I strongly believe he should be pulling back the workload 15 days out so his body is fully rested going into the fight. His immune system can't be compromised. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he's got it carefully planned out. He's working with Coach Calavetti or whatever, and actually asked MMA Guru knows about this guy on his stream. A lot of people do. Daniel Cormier knows him. This guy is the man when it comes to endurance and strength training. I bet you he's going to have a picture perfect game plan. He'll probably pull back, as you mentioned, in a timely fashion to get himself ready and prepared for DDP. The other thing to remember about Khamzat Chimaev and his immune system, I know what you're saying, that he has gotten sick in the past, but the last time he had to pull out from the Robert Whittaker fight, after that pullout, he had surgery on, I believe, his thyroid, and he had half of it removed, which hopefully should clear up a lot of his health issues. On top of that, he takes different precautions now when he trains. Like training in Abu Dhabi in the extreme heat was causing him problems, so he doesn't do that anymore. I mean, fingers crossed, knock on wood. I think that's a thing of the past, those health issues and his immune system getting compromised. But we shall see. We're going to find out soon. I mean, this is crazy. We are less than a month away. I cannot wait. All right. But I digress.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself if Khamzat loses, because like the 10-7 might get shut down. You might just quit this whole game, man.
Somebody said that. Somebody said that on the. Somebody said that in one of the comments the other day. They're like, I can't wait to come back here after DDP smashes Khamzat, and you guys go away forever, just like this other YouTuber or something who was like pro some other fighter. I was like, dang, that's kind of harsh. I was like, why would I go away? I was like, it could happen. I'm not like so delusional to think that that's impossible. Obviously, the fight can go any way, and DDP is the toughest challenge in the middleweight division, in my opinion, for sure, for Khamzat. I just believe you. Look, people getting mad at me. You have to choose a fighter. You're choosing DDP. I'm choosing Khamzat. Like, it's not that big of a deal, and I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I do believe Khamzat will win. But like, we got to pick a fight. We got to pick a fighter. It is what it is. Hold on, we got a couple comments here. 50 Rubies says, sup, casuals. What's up, dog? 50 rubles, not rubies. My bad. Mupball says, LOL, I suspect DDP wins. I mean, yeah, it could happen. Tehran says, what up at 50? What's up? What's up? 50 or 50? I don't know. And then MGAL4 Production says, Chimaev ain't losing. I mean, that's what I think. But it's a fight. That's why we love the sport, because it can go down any which way.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
Khamzat was favored, but not by a lot. Let me see. Khamzat, let me see. DDP odds as of now. Yeah, Chimaev is still minus 179. while Duplessis is at a plus 139. I mean, it's not like crazy. What? That's almost 2-1, but it's pretty darn close, right? What would you say? Minus 179? That's pretty close.
Yeah, it's relatively close. It's not crazy. I mean, I think it's reasonable.
Yeah. I think Chimaev is favored to win. If you watch the Weasels breakdown, like people were getting mad at me about that video. It's like, I'm just showing you guys in an organized fashion what the Weasel said. He exposed like a million mistakes that DDP has made historically in other fights against grapplers. He's only, I'm going off on a tangent, but like he's only fought really one wrestler, and the guy is a fraction as good as Khamzat Chimaev. That was Derek Brunson, and he made a ton of mistakes in that fight, exposing his neck. He constantly shrimps into the fighter when he's on the ground. That would give Chimaev easy access to a Darce choke or a Bravo choke, two chokes that he's like amazing at. You know, they showed him having issues when he's trying to get back to his feet, exposing his neck, ways in which like Chimaev would capitalize on. So that's all I was doing. You can, and of course, somebody made the argument. They're like, well, that was in 2023. He may have fixed those mistakes. Absolutely. He may have been working on those and fixing those flaws in his game because he knows he's taking on Chimaev. I don't doubt that. I said that as a caveat in the video, but people just seem to like ignore it and act like I'm just saying he's 100% going to lose. I'm not, but I'm saying you can look at those deficiencies and price Chimaev is the favorite. I'm not saying he's a minus 500 favorite. I'm saying he's maybe a 2 to like minus, like where the odds are at. I think that's a fair thing to say. Look, King Tersey, he saw that video. Weasel video was, this was the best video that anybody has made. And just because you're a DDP fan doesn't like people who are DDP fans are hating on the video, but it's like, it's a really good video. Weasel is pretty impartial. So I thought it was good. We're all partying in Chicago. That's for damn sure. Muttball says DDP has been the betting underdog in every fight. He is so goofy and appears to suck skill-wise, but the results speak for themselves. I'm not denying that. I've
went against him every time. He's used to. Sorry to cut you off. He's used to being the dog. He's in home territory. Khamzat's the one that has the pressure on. Khamzat's the one that has the high expectation. He's the one that has to show up. DDP's expected to lose.
That's true. But like, think about like usually when people have broken down this fight, with the exception of you actually did a detailed breakdown of DDP's technique and what makes him special. But most people, if you think about the narrative, they're like, well, if it's a short fight, it's going to favor Chimaev. If it's a long fight, it's going to favor DDP. I'm like, great. You're not saying anything. You're saying the fight could go either which way. We already know that. Like anybody knows that. Or they'll just be like, DDP is so tough that Khamzat's not going to be able to get him down. He's going to outlast him. And like, that's not really good analysis. The Weasel did actual play-by-play careful analysis based on previous fights against wrestlers, which I thought was brilliant, a smart way to go about it. And he looked at the ways where DDP exposes himself and also the ways where Chimaev is can take advantage of that, specifically with Chimaev's strength and submission. So that's why I thought it was a good thing. Yeah, you guys can disagree all you want. Like I was just showing you guys what the Weasel said. And that video is doing good. It's got 1.3K views. I know a lot of people do like it, so it is what it is. And my boss says you're fired up about this. A little bit, It's like, I feel like even though I'm such a Khamzat fan, so many DDP people have been coming to the channel, which is fine. Like, I'm a huge DDP fan, but I'm constantly feeling like I have to defend my position. Khamzat bores Chimaev. Justin gonna kill you if you keep. I bet keep talking about Khamzat. And he goes UFC 318. Okay, let's get into the mix here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Sorry. Let's start off at the top of the bill. We got to talk about this fight. Now, the weigh-ins occurred earlier today. I haven't heard any reports of anybody missing weight or anything like that. So I'm assuming everybody is on weight. Dustin Poirier was talking about how this is the best weight cut he's ever had. And so I'm sure he's coming in ready to throw down. Max Holloway's never had an issue with weight as far.
Hey, Hoots, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. All right, guys, I think we're having a technical difficulty here. I don't know if you guys can see him.
Now it's back up. Now it's back up. All right, guys, we just lost Wi-Fi for a second. My entire thing shut down. I apologize. All right, apologize, guys. Back in the mix. Now, coming back to this fight, Justin, with everybody generally looking good, the weight cuts seem to have gone well. Who are you leaning towards in this final showdown for Dustin Poirier?
Man, there's just so much on the line for both of these guys, and they have so much to fight for. This isn't just an exhibition fight. This isn't just Dustin Poirier's final fight. And I'll be honest, I think Dustin Poirier, I don't think this is his final fight. I think if that White House card happens, I mean, I think he's going to want to be on that. He's going to want to be a part of history, and that could be just as early as next year. So, I mean, how awesome would it be? Dustin Poirier goes out there, wins, retires in the cage, just like kind of like reminds me of George St. Pierre, then comes back a couple years later, comes out of retirement, fights for a belt or fights for the BMF belt again. I just think that would be just such a Cinderella story. But then you have Max Holloway on the other hand, who's still in title contention. He needs this win. This win can put him right there and back into title contention. So there's a lot of weight in this fight. And, you know, can you imagine the rematch, Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway at 155, because Max Holloway's not going to have to cut as much weight, might have a better chin, might feel better. I mean, look at him and Justin Gaethje just slugging it out for 5 rounds. He didn't even look tired in that last barrage at 155. At 145, you know, it's tough, man. Cutting weight's tough, and it's really tough as you age, too.
So did I hear you correct that between the two fighters, Jake, you're saying Dustin's going to come back and and maybe like undo the retirement when the White House card comes up? But did you say you're leaning towards Dustin? I think I missed that.
I don't know it, man. This is like a 51-49 for me, a percentage. Like I'm leaning 51% towards Dustin Poirier. Now, I just saw that Dustin Poirier is a plus 130 dog.
Oh, he's a dog.
Print money. That's your lock right there. A dog, Dustin Poirier, a dog. Max Holloway's coming off a really bad knockout, man. And I'm telling you, and we talk about progression shots. Dustin Poirier, you know, he said in Israel, this is the easiest weight cut I had. Why was it the easiest weight cut he had? Because he's crossed all his T's and he's dotted all his I's. This guy left no stone left unturned.
You know what he's been eating? I listened to one of his interviews. He's been basically doing a carnivore diet with berries and like very few vegetables. So he said he came in the leanest he's ever came in. He's feeling amazing. And I believe him. He's not a guy to, especially in his retirement fight. What does he like? He's just going to be honest. So I think he's treated everything very seriously, and that's going to be great. But you might be surprised. So you're going 51% Dustin Poirier. I'm going the other way. Now, I love Dustin Poirier, and this is one of those fights that I talk about all the time, which is kind of annoying because it's two guys that everybody loves, and nobody wants to see either guy lose. And I want Dustin to win. I want him to have a fairy tale ending. But at the same time, man, for the sport and for the lightweight division, it's cooler if Max Holloway wins. Like you said, he get that rematch against Ilia, which I think would be cool. But even that one aside, what about if he wins and he takes on like Charles Oliveira or something? Or I don't know. Like, I just want Max at the top of the division. I think it makes the whole division more fun. But that's what I want now for the purposes of the lightweight division. But when it comes down to, again, the Weasel did an amazing – no, sorry. Mighty Mouse did an amazing breakdown of the last two fights, and he talked about the last fight in particular being a rock'em sock'em robot. What he wants to see is dynamic strategies, mixed in some takedown threats, even if you don't go to the ground necessarily. You know, mix in some spinning kicks. No, don't just make it a straight boxing match where both these guys are very skilled and they can go back and forth where there's tons of damage. I think between the two, from what we saw from Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje, and with him mixing in the kick game and these dynamic strikes, I think he might hopefully do something similar. And I think because he'll take a more dynamic approach, I'm going to lean toward Max, maybe 52% versus 48% Dustin. Plus, I do think it's kind of a lot of pressure on Dustin to be fighting in New Orleans. I don't know. He may be a guy that rises to the occasion. Very well could be.
I mean, you got to understand, man, those guys thrive.
Yeah.
That. There's no way that's going to affect him negatively. There's no way. I couldn't imagine going and fighting in like Detroit for the UFC. Like, it would just be the most emotional, electric feeling. Like, that's going to automatically bring out that zone. So you're in the zone, like just hearing everybody cheering for you. Like nobody in the the theater is going to be cheering for, or the arena is going to be cheering for Holloway. It's all Poirier all night, and that energy you can get from the crowd it's like taking drugs, man. It's like that's why you get addicted to it. That's why we get addicted to it, man. And he fights for moments like this. You know what I mean? Like this is what he lives for, and he's gonna really. I think he's gonna really fucking use that for positive energy and come out on top.
Maybe that's what Paulo Costa is high on. Is just high on adrenaline. Crowd. Who knows? All right, we got a couple of comments. And we've got Matthew back in the mix. He said, "What's up, guys? Let's go, Dustin." All right, I know. And like, it's hard. Who do you root for, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
MGal4 Production says Max by TKO round 4. King Turzy says Dustin is a lock. I love it. Best is blessed from Andrew Nance. Now we got somebody new, Achromatic. I don't recognize the name, but he goes, I'm a big Hey, look at this. I love this comment. I'm a big DDP fan, but I respect 10-7 backing and rooting for his favorite fighter, Hamzat, and I like his personality. That's why I'm subbed. Let's go. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And by the way, we have guys like Johnny Monday in here who make fun of me all the time for my takes on Hamzat and this and that. And we like to encourage an open dialogue and discussion. And by the way, it'd be ridiculous for me to say, obviously, unequivocally, that Hamzat's going to win. I don't know that, but I believe he can win, but I believe DDP could also win. So that's what makes the sport fun. Let's go. King Tersey agrees with your take, by the way, on Dustin. King Tersey apparently said Dustin said he could have. I didn't hear this. He said Dustin said he could have also made 145. So he was so good. Muttball says DP and Max. I know. This is what I hate in the UFC. I didn't want to see Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje either. This one I'm a little bit more okay with because it's Dustin's request. It's his final fight going out. But like, yeah. Achromatic also says, I have no bias. I'm not rooting for either fighter, and I can see it as a 50-50 fight, but leaning Max. That's exactly. He's calling it exactly like I'm feeling. He's going to be more of a dynamic striker, and that's going to be the difference as opposed to just straight boxing. Tehran's always got good feedback. He says if Holloway goes in there and get a W, no damage, maybe he comes back at the end of the year in December to do Bronx. Yo, we're thinking the same way, right? Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. That's a cool fight. And we got a couple more things. Matthew says Dustin will win a decision, but all the talk of retirement all week, I don't think it's good, but if anybody can do it, Dustin can. He's talking about him coming back. All right. King Tersey says, yeah, what's up? 10-7. Haters are welcome. That's right. Haters, welcome. Join. We do not, we're not biased against haters. All right. Let's get into this fight. What a wild fight this is. So again, Roman Kopylov, yo, like Chris Curtis is no joke. And he TKO'd Chris Curtis. That was a crazy back and forth fight. I'm a huge fan of Roman Kopylov because he's got that striking that is just so fun to watch. Very dynamic striker. Costa hasn't been active. They were supposed to fight in June. Did you know this?
No, I did not.
Pull out, dude. What's up? What can you talk about this as a fighter? What's going on with Costa and all his pull-outs? Like, I hate to laugh about it because if it's medical things that he can't control and maybe he's having some medical issues, like that sucks, right? But what is it? Like, you've never pulled out of a single fight out of 79 fights, but then you have somebody like Costa who's pulled out of, like, I feel like he's pulled out of like 6 fights in the last several. I don't know. I'm exaggerating, but like, you know what I'm saying? What is it about?
It could be mental weakness, man. When you get a chink in your armor and you don't have that confidence in being able to perform, a lot of guys get wet feet and then they roll their ankle. And you look at Conor McGregor with the busted toe. It's like he felt he had to be perfect to come back and fight Michael Chandler, right? Well, Paulo Costa probably feels the same way. But unfortunately, here's the thing: you're never gonna be perfect. Fight camps are never perfect. You get hurt all the time. Andrew Jacoby, my athletic trainer, over at Impact, he always makes the joke is it wouldn't be a Justin James fight camp without an injury. It always happens. It happens every single time, and it's up to you to whether you persevere through it or you decide in your head like, "Oop, I find it out. I'm not fighting." And that's what he is. Paulo Costa isn't the same guy he used to be. He's not very. I don't think he's very good anymore. You see him; he's tweaking out. He looks like he's on meth at the presser. I mean, he's at the end of his career. I just saw this big thing. He came out. He had some slander against Dana White, and you cannot slander Dana White. And then he came back and he did a recent interview I just saw today. He came back and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just was mad. Dana's the man. I love him so much. I appreciate all the opportunities I get in the UFC." Listen, he's on the chopping block and he's being set up to get knocked the fuck out, and he's getting sent home in a coffin. Dana White, I think, is done with him. I think Dana White's sick of him.
I think we're eye to eye here. I don't know what's going on with him, man. He's fun. He's a funny dude. Like, I having him.
I think he's a great entertainer, but I agree with you. He's a great entertainer. He's great on the mic. He talks shit, but you got to show up, man. Like, hey, if you break a bone, sure. Like, what are your injuries? Like, it's like, how are you training so hard that you're getting injured all the time? You need to pull back. If you're training that hard and you have that, if you get injured in a fight, like, fuck, you learn from that. You don't keep repeating the same mistake over and over, and it seems like he is. I think it's a mental thing.
Well, it very well could be. Maybe he's not training properly. Who knows? It's a number of things. But see, it's interesting to get your perspective. A lot of people are like, oh, just making stuff up about why he's constantly having pulling out. But from the fighter perspective, I like to hear that. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe it is mental weakness as opposed to some genetic deficiencies or different things like that. But anyways, I think we're simpatico on this. Kopylov for the win. I think you got to put money on Kopylov. I don't know if the odds are too crazy to make it a worthwhile bet, but for sure, that's.
I'm going to parlay. I'm going to parlay Kopylov with DDP.
Man, why are you betting on DDP?
That's just he's the underdog. Because he's the underdog.
It's bad omen. It's bad omen.
If Hamzat was the underdog, I'd bet on him.
Dude, I'm gonna probably put the biggest bet I've ever made on a UFC fight ever on Hamzat, just because I feel like I have to.
Can I ask how much you're gonna put on?
I'm thinking $1,000. Yeah, I'm thinking $1,000. I'm not a big better, so I'm not like out here, guys, betting. Like that's by far the biggest bet that I've ever put on any.
You'd win like $400.
Yeah, I know it's not gonna be like a big winnings, but I just feel like I have to. I don't know. I just want to support him, and I feel like that's the way that I'm going to do it.
It'd be more than that. Oh, no, he's not plus 130, or he's minus 175.
Minus 179.
179.
So I probably make $100, right?
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, a quick thing. I forgot to put I forgot to put this into the what's it called? One of the topics, but there was a little fun exchange. I feel like we should cover this because Michael Chandler is actually, people might give Michael Chandler crap for this. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up here. Where is it? Michael Chandler actually tweeted again at Conor trying to get this fight still.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
But as much as people are clowning Chandler, I actually thought it was a really good text. So let me show it to you. Yeah, I saw it on one of these YouTube channels that I watch where they aggregate like all UFC news. But look at this. He basically says this. You can barely read it. It's right here. At the Notorious, everyone has seen your small, and then he does the eggplant emoji, which is funny. You'll never fight me and always duck me. Drop your balls, not your weight. So here's why I was happy about this tweet. For the longest time, Chandler's been taking the high road. He's been like super respectful. I'm like, I said this 6 months ago. I'm like, dude, just stop with the Conor. We hope. In my heart, I think it can still happen, but my brain says it will never happen and blah blah. I was like, the dude's delayed all this. Like, just stop being respectful. Just go at him. What do you have to lose at this point? Like, the guy, you know what I mean? I was like, start ripping on him. Start going off on him. Finally, he did something that's slightly poking the bear, and I think it's great. I don't know. Have you heard if Conor responded to this or no?
I have not heard.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, I thought it was cool. Hamzat Boris Shemaev says, "Don't jinx news, David. Nothing's gonna be. Don't worry, we're good to go. We're good to go for August 16th. It's gonna go down." And then he said, "Told you they would mention Conor's dick." Like, what? Me and Justin or somebody else? I haven't seen the full photo, by the way. Have you seen the actual photo with Conor in his full glory?
Yeah, well, with his dick blurred out, yeah.
No, but apparently the actual photo without it being blurred out is going around as well.
100%, dude. You can search almost anybody, dude. It's crazy, man. Like, there's crazy pictures out there of people, dude. Of course, Conor would be exposed, man. Like,
let's talk. Wait, can we talk about this for a second? Here's the thing.
Hey, you know what? He's my buddy. Brian Caraway's out there, dude. Like, like, I don't care if he gets mad at me for talking about it. Like, he's the one that told me about it. Like, yeah, his cell phone got compromised, and someone broke into his cell phone and took all his pictures of himself and of his ex-girlfriend. If you guys, I'm not really into it, but it's out there.
Brian Caraway, one of the few bantamweights that ever beat, bantamweights that ever beat Aljamain Sterling before he was beaten by Sean O'Malley. So if you don't know Brian Caraway, look him up. He trains. Does he still train at Extreme Couture or no?
No, he had a falling out with Eric a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like 5 years ago, yeah.
But anyways, Brian Caraway is a madman, dude. If you guys, check that out. But apparently,
he's out of control. He's one of the wildest guys I know. I mean, do you know any guys much wilder than Brian?
Yeah, but I guess his photos are out there as well. Hold on, we got a couple of the comments, and we'll move. Oh wait, hold on. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Conor situation really quickly. Everybody's laughing about it. Everybody's like, "Ha, oh my god, what a crazy man!" Yo, the real thing that people should be talking. This is beyond the line of insane. Just back it up for now. Apparently, I heard that Azalea chick has later came out and said that they have been exchanging nudes back and forth, and so this was just like I don't know if that's true or not, or if this was unprovoked, but let's just go with the original narrative. If this was truly unprovoked and he had never messaged her in the past and he just sends this out of nowhere, which now I'm hoping that's not the case. If that is the case, that is literally pure insanity. Like literally he's completely off his rocker. Who would do that? And then
Brett Favre did it.
But with the dumbbell and hanging off the whole thing, it's insane.
I'll be honest, man. And I was a big fan of Brett Favre, and when I heard that he did that with the cheerleader, I became a bigger fan of Brett Favre.
Wait,
I think
again, what did he do? I don't remember this.
He was sending he was 50 years old, and he was sending dick pics to the 20-year-old cheerleaders. I was like, hell yeah, that's my guy. Actually, if you watch the Brett Favre, there's a Brett Favre thing on Netflix. You'll hate him. He's actually a fucking piece of shit. Garbage. Oh. Yeah, he stole a bunch of money from a charity organization. It's on Netflix. It's really good. But I think when you get to that kind of stardom, like Conor McGregor, Brett Favre, regardless of how I feel about him as a person, I was a big fan until about 3 months ago, and I watched this thing on Netflix. It's wild. But regardless of that, he's the best, arguably one of the best, and he's really cocky and he's arrogant. And when you have that kind of money, look at all these things Conor have done. He's broken the law so much, and he's never even seen a jail cell. Like, you get to that level of stardom, and you can just do whatever you want, and nothing really surprises me when it comes to guys on that level of popularity.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? You can do whatever you want in a lot of respects and get away with it, but would everybody do the same thing? I don't think they would. So Habib said a long time ago, and I do believe this, fame doesn't change anybody. What fame does and fortune and all this stuff is it reveals your true self. And I think that's what's happening. Dog, I would not be doing this crap. I guarantee you, I can bet you anything. If I got to some crazy levels of whatever, I think, okay. I have to say that I have to be conscientious here and say I've never experienced that, and it probably would blow my mind. But I'd like to think that I would never be crossing those barriers, because that's a crime. That's actually assault. And as I told you, I've been on the other side where you receive unwanted nude photos of somebody, and you might as well say, oh, of course you should love that. That's crazy. Nah, trust me, not in my situation. Not the person who's sending it to me. It was disgusting, and it was truly offensive. So to me, that's what you're gonna get so powerful they become a criminal? Nah, not me. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
What I was just gonna say was, hey, you see that? I held up. I didn't cut you off. That's see, I'm getting better, bro.
Hey.
Fuck no, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, I want to revoke what I said and just come back to it, because when you're talking to girls on dating websites and you should know this, how many girls talk about all the dick pics they get in their inbox? Yeah. So I don't think it has anything to do with stardom. I just said it did. I'm revoking everything I just said because I'm thinking about this now. It's I think it's just a personality trait. Some people just have no shame and they just send it.
Yep. And maybe some people are not realizing what they're doing, but it really is it's highly offensive. And I would almost go so far as it feels like you're getting assaulted. And I know you guys be like, oh, dog, you're soft. You're you know how MMA fans are. It's
I love being assaulted. Send it. Don't
but you know what I mean? People could
me.
say that. Listen, I know it sounds like that, but you don't know until you know. And I had one of the worst feelings in my stomach when I had a unique situation. It was somebody who was totally crazy, stalking me and sending me all this stuff, putting gifts in front of my house. It was really bad. Justin even came down at one point. I know he's laughing, but it was.
Just because it's one of the craziest situations, and I hope you should make a video about it one day.
I will.
Just to tell everybody.
I'm going to,
because it is such the craziest story. And Huzaifa was getting it. I was when you imagine him running through the street with a hoodie and is non-lethal, he's chasing this girl.
I had to chase the stalker down and get her arrested. She's in jail. She's been locked up since last August because they hit her with 2 felony charges of stalking and 6 misdemeanor violations of violating a restraining order. So she got a big sentence. She won't get released on probation until February of next year. So they hit her pretty hard for these stalking cases, but it's because she would not leave me alone. Anyways, my point is it's not a victimless thing. It's it does really affect people, and it depends. I mean, obviously depending on the relationship, it can affect people more or less, but whatever. Yeah. Hamzat says make a video on that. Yeah, I'm in the process of doing that. I actually was talking to my therapist about it, and I think it's going to be good for me. I want I need a no. No, you trust me. You do not want this. You do not want. When I make the video, you're gonna realize you think you want it, you don't want it. Trust me. Damn dog, that's thousands of our tax. But yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. What can I say? It is. All right, let's move along to this kind of might be one of my favorite fights.
Nobody's talking about this fight.
Nobody's talking about it. Dude, first of all, Kevin Holland's like a -500 favorite.
Really?
That's what I heard. Hold on, let me double check that.
That's true. I mean, I might put a little cash on Rodriguez here because, I mean, he's
what I heard.
Tough dude.
That's what I heard. Hold on, let me go back and see if this is total BS. Oh, I think it's maybe total BS. 1 second. Against Vicente Luque was -2. Wait, hold on. Kevin Holland odds against Rodriguez. 1 second. Okay, dude, he's a -455.
Yeah, there's some value in that.
That's crazy, but I love it. I love it for Kevin Holland. Like, what a legend. He's finally getting respect that he hasn't been getting for so long. Look, -455. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is wild.
And I think it was even higher. I think people probably been betting on Rodriguez, so it's shifted the numbers because I heard he was a -500. So Justin,
there's some value in those lines too because he's gonna finish. When a guy's that much of a favorite, there's a pretty good chance he's gonna finish. So whether he finishes by TKO or submission, I think there's some good value lines.
Kevin Holland goes for it, so I think it's gonna be good. Now, Daniel Rodriguez, I think we looked at this on Monday, but we'll look at it one more time. He is coming off of a 2-fight. He's on a 2-fight win streak, so that's pretty good. He beat Ponzinibbio and Morano, and as I've mentioned before, Morano's just got this like such a weird striking style. He looks so awkward. You say DDP looks awkward, like Alex Morano looks way more awkward. That's crazy. But anyways, he's doing pretty well right now. Kevin Holland is on a great trajectory, great streak. I think it just speaks to Kevin Holland doing the right thing now and actually taking his training seriously and making a big run at welterweight. I know the odds kind of speak for themselves. I'm assuming you're picking Kevin Holland to win. Let me ask you this, okay? Let's talk about this because I think that who's going to win this fight is less interesting. Let's say Kevin Holland gets the victory as we both predict. Who would you like to see Kevin Holland fight next?
Who's he going to have the best trash talk with? Who's going to jaw jack in there?
Colby Covington, for sure.
That would be awesome. That would be incredible. Can you imagine these guys? They'd be arguing in the fight. You know what I mean? That would be so entertaining. I would love to see that.
No, Colby would be quiet. Kevin would be talking. They got to do that. They got to do that.
I don't think Colby will be able to keep his mouth shut. I don't think he'll be quiet. I think he'll be getting his ass whipped, and Kevin will be, gaining the momentum, gaining confidence, and he'll be talking down to him, and Colby will be trying to rebuttal with something, but I don't think he'll have it in him to be quiet.
I'd like to see that fight. Guys, chime into the comments. We got a couple people throwing out comments here that in terms of that fight. But here, wait, we got UFC Therapy. You might be new to the show. What's up? Blessed Man Forever, Maximilian Arthurway, Holloway. Let's go. Right on. We agree with you. The issue with Kevin is he is so inconsistent. Holland by sub. But yeah, he's inconsistent, but I think lately he's not. I think he's finally taken his career seriously. He's sticking to welterweight. He's no longer – I think the middleweight fights were really harsh on him because he was just so outclassed in terms of strength and weight and whatnot. The physicality was just destroying him. Holland's activity, wow, people need to give him credit and props. I said this multiple times. The fact that people clown on him so much is actually ridiculous. People say you want active fighters. You say you want people fighting multiple times a year. Nobody does it more than Kevin Holland. Yet he doesn't get respect for it. Probably because of the 45-70 thing and different stuff like that. And maybe I know people get annoyed, but they're like, he kind of rests on that notion that he's like, I don't want to be champion. I don't want to try. And people see kind of right through that. They're like, dog, you just are saying that because you're trying to, save yourself from being disappointed. I think that's the general feeling anyways. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. That turned fans off. But you got to give them respect for the activity. Nobody is that active. Justin, can you turn your headphones down a little bit? I'm getting we're getting feedback, I think, from my audio. I don't know if you can do that. If you can,
I don't know how to.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's just very minor. I don't think it's bothering anybody else. So we have Holland versus Masvidal. I don't want to see that. Do you want to see that?
No, I don't think Masvidal should come back.
I don't think that. I think Holland at this point, Masvidal. I think Holland would smoke. I mean,
I think Holland kills him. I don't even think it'd be a fight. Yeah, I think
we need Colby. Somebody else said Costa versus Holland. No, he's not moving up to 185 again. I don't want to see him at 185 anyways. Yes, Mupal agrees. Colby will be good. Yes, Holland would KO him, and I think that'd be sweet. Let's go.
I love watching Colby get beat up.
I'd rather see Chandler Colby. Do you want to see Chandler Colby? I don't know if I want to see that. Do you want to see that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just, getting Chandler a win would be kind of cool. Mike Chandler's a good guy. I mean, he's kind of a dirty fighter, but I mean, at least he plays a good character on camera, off out of the cage. But nah, not really. I would rather see Kevin Holland versus Colby.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next topic. Topic number 4. Your boy Daniel Zellhuber. By the way, I said on Monday that Zellhuber won against Esteban Ribovic. That's what my recollection was. He actually lost that fight, but he lost a split decision. So I apologize for making that mistake. But I remember him winning, but that's how close the fight was. So pretty crazy. But anyways, I want to show you guys a video that we made on the 10-7. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull it up right now. And then I want Justin to watch this, and I want Justin to give us his thoughts. Because Justin, if you guys don't know this, that Daniel Zellhuber actually trains at Extreme Couture. I actually trained in the cage with him when Eric Nixon was training him a couple Saturdays ago when I was in Vegas visiting. That dude is terrifying when he hits the pads. Like, his Muay Thai is, bro, it's insane. And he's 6'1". But anyways, they totally, we have a comment here that I'm going to show in a second, but they totally had an awesome back and forth, okay, at the pressers, Zellhuber and Michael Johnson, and nobody followed up on it, and I was really bummed. Credit to Oscar Willis for asking the question to get these two guys going, but then they never followed up on it. And I wanted to show you this clip. Zellhuber is the man on this front. By the way, Sleepy the pool boy, who has been here before, is back. He says, I saw Johnson has 9 losses by submission. Ooh, Zellhuber by sub. We're going to hear Dustin's take it a second because he trains with Zellhuber. But guys, watch this and tell me, I don't know if you guys were disappointed too, but I'm like, finally, we have a beef at a presser. Thankfully, let's drill out on this. Nobody asked him a follow-up question. Oscar's the only one that asked these guys a question. Then everybody else was like, so what are you looking forward to, Dustin, for your experience in New Orleans? Are you going to try the gumbo? Like, this type of stuff, like, nobody cares about. But, okay, check this out.
I'm in the middle and trade off. Yeah. Are you willing to brawl with Michael Johnson?
Oh, could you repeat the question? Sorry, brother.
Are you willing to brawl with Michael Johnson, or are you going to try and keep this fight more technical?
Oh, no. I'm here to knock him out in 1 round, bro.
You lying ass motherfucker.
That's the whole game plan, bro. So, I mean, I'm ready for 3 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever rounds it is. I'm the younger fighter, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the fight.
Michael, yesterday at Media Day, you said that he had some scumbag tactics to get this fight, and that he's been a little cocky leading up to it. How excited are you to show that experience can still beat youth?
Yeah, I'm out here looking forward to show this little young buck some lessons in here. He's young, but he's a little too cocky and he's running his mouth too much. So,
but this is the funny thing, because he have been here for almost 30 fights. He gets himself.
Who are you?
Shit.
How many fights you got?
That's the point.
When you got 3-4 fights in the UFC, relax,
bro. I'm talking shit, and you are sitting in your corner, so it works. So shut the fuck up and just show up.
I don't even understand what you said. Like, repeat yourself. I think you're just trying to talk yourself into a fight. Like, you're probably a fan of mine. You grew up watching me fight.
I grew up watching him.
I know, that's your obsession with me. I think it's a little gay, but it's okay. You're fine.
Dude, it's too good. And guess what? They did not get a single follow-up question the rest of the press. That was the one interesting moment in the press conference, was this happening, and then everything else was just boiling. Like, you talk about this all the time. Like, first of all, how do you think Zellhuber did just now, and Michael Johnson?
I thought he did pretty good. I'm trying. So as they're going through the altercation, I'm thinking in my head like what I would be saying back to it. And after he's like, "Oh, that's gay," he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I am gay. I'm gonna fuck you on Saturday. I'm gonna make you my bitch." I think that would have been the ultimate Mike Tyson comeback. I'm gonna take you in the cage. I'm gonna fuck you on Saturday, boy. Make you my bitch. I just wish Zellhuber would have hit him with that, man. That would have been off the wall. Everyone would have lost their shit, and his stock would have went up 1,000%, man. But Zellhuber did good, man. He's not very good. And here's the thing. That's a character. All right. Daniel is one of the nice. Daniel does not talk shit. Daniel comes over to me every time we cross paths and fucking gives me one of these. Like, this kid is the most respectful kid. So to see him talk crazy like this, I think it's a new thing for him. I can see him. He's not that. I mean, he's having a good time. He's smiling. He's doing it for fun, man. You can see he's having a good time. He's not getting mad. And Michael Johnson, on the other hand, same thing. He's a vet of the sport. He knows what this young kid's trying to do. Just kind of rile him up, stir the fight up, and he's doing the best he can. And it's entertaining, and I think it's great for, especially because it's out of character, man. But it's not Colby Covington out of character.
Yes.
It's playful banter.
Yes.
You know, he's not
real.
It's real. He's being respectful. He's talking shit, man. It's just like when you play your boys and, man, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. Yeah, no, I'm gonna fuck you. Like that. And I just love that, man. I love that in the sport. And I fucking love Daniel, man. He's such a fucking class act. I just can't say enough good things about him.
I can't wait for this fight. And that's the beauty of a good presser. And again, massive missed out. Look, I love Oscar. Actually, Oscar gets credit for teeing this question up, but like, why did the media not drill down on this? I don't understand. It was so good, but I'm actually very excited about this. Might be the fight I'm most excited about, actually. And it's just because of that little interaction. Like, I love seeing Daniels just being cocky, got that big smile on his face. Now, I apparently heard, like, I'm trying to make sure I didn't make a mistake when I'm remembering this, but I'm pretty sure on the podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, Henry said something like, Daniel finally took my advice. So he was intentionally like trying to stir the pot with Michael Johnson to get that fight. And that's how he got it. And I think he might be taking a page out of Henry Cejudo's book. I'm not sure. But again, like you said, it's not the cringe. It's not the super fake over the top WWE. He's talking a little smack, messing around on social media, got the fight. And he's not, you saying he's playing a character. It's not, I wouldn't call it a character. I would not step that far, but he's being cocky. He's embracing it and he's messing around. He's having fun. I think it's great. I wish they would have drilled down a little bit more because it really got Michael Johnson heated, but I'm picking Zellhuber for sure. I imagine you are, but tell us, how do you think he gets it done? We heard somebody say a sub. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Man, I'll be honest. I don't see Daniel grapple that often. Every time I see him in the gym, he's always striking. He's always hitting mitts. So I think he's going to keep this fight on the feet. I think he wants to put a statement on Michael Johnson. I think he's going to keep Michael at range and hit him with long shots. And Michael's going to be trying to blitz in to get in on the inside of that range there. And I think Zellhuber's just going to pick him apart as he comes in.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. Yo, I saw Zellhuber striking up close. It was insane, and it's very scary. But it was
insane.
It's insane. But it was I was like, dude, this guy looks like he grew up in Thailand. All right, we got a bunch of comments here from, I think, some folks that have been here, but some are new. Like, what's up with these names? These are the best names. Spooky Scarecrow says, are y'all in New Orleans? No, we're not going to actually see the fights. I am going to the UFC 319 though, but not 318. Boosie the Beaver is back. Michael Johnson, solid puncher chance if he brings the speed. Yeah, maybe. I can see that. Fine.
That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to get on the inside and brawl with him and make it dirty.
Swampy the Swamp Rabbit agrees with me. We need more beef. Yes, I love to highlight beefs on this channel, and we definitely need more beefs. By the way, my little press conference video is now at like 561 views, which isn't bad for our channel. It's kind of growing. At first, it like got no views and then started to pick up, so that's pretty cool. Clown, and your video on Dana White also just passed like 400 views or something. I don't know if I told you that. The Clown Show Exposed says, I think this will be FOTN. What does that mean?
Fight of the night.
Oh, fight of the night. Yeah,
I think it has potential. Absolutely. Michael Johnson comes out. He's such a banger, and he's just a dog, man. I just love Michael Johnson's style. And I love Michael Johnson, man. It's like my last fight in the UFC, or maybe my last two fights in the UFC. Michael Johnson and I fought on the same card. We cut weight together, and I guess there's something about that. When you're in the hot tub dying together, it's just a good camaraderie piece. So I've always had a great memory with Michael Johnson.
Legend. Michael Johnson, Zellhuber, let's go. Muppal says, like the stream. We would appreciate that if you guys would like the stream. Also, want to mention again, check out our membership. They just went live like a couple weeks ago. We have just a couple members so far, but what it is training videos from Justin James. Awesome training videos if you are interested in learning how to defend yourself, learning how to fight. And that's what we're building an entire library. We're going to eventually start organizing it and making it really easy depending on your level and what you want to learn and what you want to improve, where you can come in and start teaching yourself on how to defend yourself. One thing that I think would be good, but I'd love to hear your guys' feedback as more people sign up. Do you want more detailed breakdowns of super basic techniques? Like, think about people will walk up, and I'll see it all the time at the gym, right? They'll be working on a jab cross, and they just like, again, this is an Equinox. This isn't like an MMA gym, but like the technique is just so wrong. There's no, they're getting no instruction on how to, where to distribute the weight, how to pivot, how to, you know what I mean? They're just kind of like using their arms. You guys want the nitty gritty on how, because a jab, right, Justin? People say all the time that was the most important punch, just to get a perfect jab. We could probably break that down in like 5 minutes to help you guys with all of that. I mean, Justin, not me, but maybe I could be like the 10.
Well, that's what I want you to come out here. I want to do a whole bunch of basic videos. We'll just go to the gym for like 3 hours and just video after video after video, and I'll pump out. We can pump out 50 to 100 because a video like that, just to show a basic thing, would take about 3 minutes.
Yep, I'd love to.
And we could, like I said, we could bust out like 50 to 100 of them all in a day. And that's the other thing. The other reason I've been kind of slow with the training is it's hard to do without having somebody. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, hey, come here, let me help you. Oh, no, I got to go. And it's like, fucking, and then crisscross. But anyways, yeah, I'd love for you to get out here. We can just bust out like 100 in a day and just post them up.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so we got a question from King Terzi for Justin in particular. Justin, what's your favorite thing you learned from fighting? Could be anything. Oh, before you answer this, I do want to talk about in a second. I've been doing hot yoga now twice a week because my girlfriend teaches it. And I think it's been helping my fighting, but we're going to come back to that in a second. Anyways, Justin, go ahead and answer this question.
Man, the favorite thing I've learned from fighting, dude, there's a lot of life lessons to be learned. And I guess the best and most important one are perseverance, because I tell you what, man, the fighter's lifestyle is not what people think it is. Like, I mean, there are some incredible moments. I've been the highest highs, I've been in the top of the mountain. I've fought in the UFC, I've traveled the world and fought in India and Scotland and Thailand and Mexico and Canada. And I've had incredible encounters, but the financial perseverance you learn is like something you can't be taught. And I think that's probably my favorite thing, is that I can be put in any good and or bad situation, and I will find a way to figure out how to persevere through that situation. So yeah, my favorite thing I've learned is perseverance.
Yeah, I feel like I think about that all the time in terms of what I see fighters have to go through, and then I draw parallels between that and being an entrepreneur, different things along those lines. And I feel like that mental strength, if you can just figure out how to harness it and redirect it, you could just be so successful in pretty much any avenue of life. That's what I felt for a long time. You see guys like TJ Dillashaw putting that into action in business on a continual basis. Like, it's really, really cool. Now, let me just really quickly talk to you about this, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. Oh, Mr. Chuck E. Cheese, by the way, says Kopylov, his jab will be fire against Costa's looping punches. I do agree, but one thing about hot yoga, I just want to throw out there and get your thoughts, bro. It's crazy. Like, as I've been striking and working out, I hit pads today with my trainer at Equinox, and we're doing. He got Muay Thai pads, so I was doing everything. I was throwing kicks, knees, no elbows actually, but we were ripping some combos, and everything feels sharper. It's like I have more pop on all my strikes. Do you find this? Like, have you ever done hot yoga or yoga, these types of exercises, and do you find that it does something to your striking?
I've never done it enough to say like, oh, it's helped with striking, but it has helped with recovery. It really sore, you go to a hot yoga, stretch out really quick. But yeah, that's actually really interesting, and it makes sense that it would, obviously, because you're stretching out all your muscles before you go, and instead of starting tight. Even when you warm up, sometimes your shoulders and back are still tight. So yeah, I could see it being very beneficial.
Dude, it's wild. Like, I told Nicole, I'm doing it now twice a week minimum, because I've noticed big differences. Joshua, the delivery driver, welcome back. He said, what's the difference with hot yoga and yoga? It's literally just the temperature and the humidity. So we're doing it at like 105 or 110 degrees. I can't remember the exact temperature. Plus, it's extra humid, so you sweat continuously. But because of the heat, you're warmed up basically by default. So you're able to kind of get like slightly deeper stretches, and you're still strengthening your body, strengthening your core. So I just think it's like having a lot of really interesting benefits in Muay Thai, and that's why I want to keep doing it. All right, now we're moving on to some fun topics, a little bit less UFC related, but still UFC related. Dog, have you heard about this?
I did. I just saw this yesterday.
Bro, Tony Ferguson is boxing Salt Papi. I never thought I'd see the day. Dude, this is insane.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, most people don't, but I had to look him up. Now, here's the worst part. I watched okay, I'm going to show you Salt Papi's last fight. I'm actually worried. I think he's going to beat Tony Ferguson because look, okay, he's obviously not a UFC fighter. He's not an MMA fighter, but his boxing doesn't look bad. And the problem is, what's the number one thing that Tony has lost as he's gotten older? We all see it. It's his speed. Well, his chin and his speed. His speed is like he looks like he's going at a fraction of the. Well, wait, he got knocked out by Michael Chandler. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah,
When
nasty knockout. That
yeah,
was brutal. I don't think you ever recover from that.
Okay, fair enough. But it's like, but what we see it's look like he's stuck in the mud when he's moving. Now, let me show you this clip. Salt Papi is the guy in the blue shorts, blue and red shorts. Okay, just watch this. Give me, and then I want to hear your take afterwards and what you think is going to happen. Check this out.
Figure it out, but Kenny not doing a good job at getting that lead for them.
Here, we're just going to mute this, just in case there's a copyright thing. But look, I mean, look, dude, his striking, his punching, his boxing is sharp. Like he's in
the blue and the white.
Yeah, he gets thrown. He does a little wrestling move there. The other guy's looks like a lot bigger than him. But check this out. He can hit hard too, dude. I don't know. This is bad. I think. Okay. He's being patient, trying to find his shots. And the other guy definitely looks like he's got a reach advantage. Boom, and then he almost does kind of like almost like a MVP style where he's out, in and out a little bit, not to the same degree, but boom. Do you see him land that heavy shot? And that's it. One and done.
Oh, they knocked him out. That was it?
Yeah, he couldn't get back up. He tried, but he couldn't get his legs.
Damn.
So that was a knockout. All right, Justin, let me turn it over to you. What do you see? I mean, is that enough to even get? Can you make a take based on that? Like, what do you foresee here?
Tony Ferguson isn't a boxer, and he's going to fight a boxer in a boxing ring. It never goes good for MMA fighters, man. And it just goes to show how tough MMA fighters are, though. Like, we're willing to go out there and go. You know, I hate. We get criticized so much for it. It's like, oh, MMA striking sucks. It's like, no, MMA striking doesn't suck. MMA boxing sucks because boxing is a different sport. That's like saying rugby and football. Oh, like, hey, you're really good at rugby, but you suck at football. Like they're two different sports, and I think people think since they're both combat sports, it's the same thing, and it's not. We're serious. These are apples and oranges, guys. There's only a couple punches. That's the only similarity. Like when you talk about MMA. Punches, knees, elbows, kicks, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, guard play, like all in boxing is just hands. I mean, that's only 1/6 of MMA. So when you like, and people are like, oh, MMA striking sucks. No, it doesn't suck. It's just it's a different sport. And I don't know, man. I feel bad for Tony Ferguson. I think he's gonna get fucked up.
Dude, I think so too. And like, it's who is Salt Papi? So Salt Papi, by the way, guys. He's some social media guy here. I'm going to look him up just so you can see. And this is the part that's really annoying to me. He's okay. Wait, he's had how many fight? Oh no, I think here it is. His name is Nathaniel. Excuse me, Bustamante. And he's known for his social media presence and comedian. Sorry, that went down the wrong pipe. Particularly his fake running dance trend, his impressions of Salt Bae. Okay, This is who Tony's fighting now, and I think he's gonna lose. Like, that's crazy, but it is what it is.
He's probably getting paid, though. He's probably getting paid.
He's gonna get paid. So we shall see what goes on there. We got some comments here. Let me read them really quickly. Yeah, Muttball, he is the meme guy. I didn't even know. Yeah, he's a famous TikToker, is what Tehran said. He's the guy that wears sunglasses inside and sprinkles. So yeah, so he's impersonating, I guess, Salt Bae. I guess that's why they call him Salt Papi. Muttball says Tony Ferguson is so old and beaten up, it's not looking good, but he is the vet. He did get a hair transplant, though, that looks lit. Like, he's got literally like a full head of hair back. It's crazy. So he looks like a legend. That is pretty cool, though. And then we got Tehran says Conor and Francis are probably the only two MMA fighters who actually did good in boxing. Yeah, Conor did all right. Actually, he did do okay. Like the first 3 rounds.
He fought the greatest boxer arguably ever.
I mean, Francis basically won that fight. A lot of people thought Francis won. No. I know. Oh, Louisa said Salt Bae and Salt Papi. No, I know they're not the same people. Salt Papi was impersonating Salt Bae. Yeah, so that's I guess why they call him Salt Papi, because of that. So then Muttball says they're two of the best in MMA. Okay, anyways. And then Muttball says,
hey.
Muttball thought it was the same guy. Yeah, no, it's not Salt Bae. It's different. Salt Papi apparently impersonated Salt Bae. Yes, they are different guys. Okay, let's move on. There's another boxing match at the top of this card. Apparently the new star of whatever this boxing promotion is called, DAZN or something. Luke Rockhold is fighting Darren Till in a straight boxing match. Now, I listened to Luke Rockhold yesterday in the interview. He said his boxing has really come along and made amazing progress. But, you know, fighters always say that. Just off of what you know from Luke Rockhold, who's really known as having great grappling, and he does have good striking, but like not known for his boxing. In fact, boxing, of his own admission, he used to say was the weakest part of his game, but now he's strengthened it. I mean, what's your thoughts on this little fun boxing matchup?
I think it's gonna be a good, entertaining fight, man. Both these guys. I mean, how serious are they gonna take this fight is the question. These guys aren't obviously fighting for a world championship. You know, this could. I don't know. I don't want to revoke what I just said, but it's like it depends where their motivation is at. Do these guys really want to fight, or are they just coming out here for a paycheck? I look at Darren Till in his last fight, and he looked a little soft. You know,
oh, really?
I thought he looked soft. I mean, his technique was good, and I think he knocked the guy out. But he didn't look like he was in exceptional shape. And same thing with Luke Rockhold. You know, after getting your teeth knocked out by Mike Perry, like, why would you want to continue to compete? Like, unless you're getting paid, and if they're getting paid, you know, maybe they just do enough just to get there and make weight and get a paycheck, and whatever happens, happens.
I think that Darren Till is gonna. I think he's gonna wreck Luke Rockhold. I think Luke Rockhold's a legend for stepping up and taking this fight. But Darren Till, we know him; he's a striker. That's his bread and butter. And he actually looked pretty good in his last boxing match. Granted, the guy he fought, Anthony, or what, I don't know what the guy's name was, Anthony Taylor, Josh, I don't know. But that guy, what's that?
He wasn't anybody.
He wasn't anybody, but the guy had a few boxing matches. He had some MMA fights. Like, he was a fighter. He just wasn't that great. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, now we have something that nobody's talking about. It's just totally gone under the radar for some reason this week because we have so many other things happening. Yo, the best female fighter on the planet is fighting this weekend in South Africa. Dakota Ditcheva. By the way, I reached out to her on Instagram and I sent her my other 2 videos on her. I'm like, we'd love to have you on the channel. Crickets is what we heard, but it's all good. You gotta shoot your shot, right? But look who she's fighting. She is fighting Sumiko Inaba. Now, you've seen footage of Dakota Ditcheva, hopefully on her highlight reels and from this channel, but look at her competition. Let's just get the professional opinion from Justin Guitar Hero James. Sumiko Inaba is going to be this person right here. And we'll just kind of take a little bit of look at her last fight and her striking and her entire game. And we can get a quick read on what we think is going to go down. I can pretty much guarantee you Dakota Ditcheva is going to knock her out, but let's see what happens. So she's in black. Check this out.
In the playoffs on the line.
I mean, dude, look at the speed. Like, she's kind of quick, but the way she throws her kicks already, there's just such a massive difference. Like, she's quick. Not a bad calf kick. I don't think that would happen to Dakota, though. Justin, do you remember what Dakota's striking looks like, or do you want me to show you a quick clip?
You can show everybody else a quick clip, but I'm very confident in her Muay Thai.
Okay, now just so you guys can see what Dakota Ditcheva looks like, we'll see one of her most recent fights. Is this? Oh, this is the promo reel. Hold on. All right, let's check out this one 6 months ago. Here we go. Okay, there's Dakota Ditcheva. She also has good grappling. She's in blue. Boom! Look at that. I mean, can't you tell the speed and power difference just from even that one kick? Boom!
She's just so much bigger too.
She's bigger. She's just confident. She's flowing. I like that fake teep, and then she goes into the clinch.
Keep in mind too, the PFL wants to build her. They're not going to give her a hard matchup. Why would she fight? Why would she take a tough fight for the PFL when she can go to the UFC and take a tough fight and get paid?
Yeah, for sure. Hold on, wait. Let's see. I can't remember if this is the fight. Okay, well, let's take a little bit more of a look at her striking here. Boom! Look at that leg kick. It's a difference in power, like a clear difference in power. Maybe the other girl is just as fast or a touch quicker, maybe. But it's like all of Dakota's shots, they just hit differently.
Sure.
And she's also known for her knees as well. People say that she's got the hardest knees, period, in mixed martial arts. I don't know if you agree or disagree. Anyways, we got Dakota Ditcheva, guys. Don't sleep on this fight. I would actually be down to buy this card depending on the time that it's happening, just to see Dakota get that win in that knockout. And I'll definitely be making a video right afterwards. Last story of the show. Justin, did you hear about this?
Sportsman? No, I don't know anything about it.
Bro, This is insane. Okay. If you guys have not heard about this, I heard about this from one of my students earlier today. Ready?
Okay.
In what can only be described as one of the most complex and longest running schemes in history, the FBI, state, and local law enforcement authorities are now investigating a suicide that has potential ties to one, if not the biggest instance of counterfeiting to hit sports collectibles in the marketplace ever. Do you buy sports cards or baseball cards or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay, listen to this guy, Mr. Man Cave. Okay, he sold over 4 million items. He made $350 million in sales. This guy was living large. This is over 2 decades. He produced sold and produced hologram fanatics, TriStars, blah, blah, blah. You name it, we made it. Sold over 5 million fanatics, holograms alone, whatever. Produced hologram cards for their entire database. When Kobe died and put 80,000 items in the marketplace, sold over 500,000 counterfeit Panini items. Dominic Ball of Carmel, Indiana, was the sole person who put out the 100,000 Tom Brady items. So I guess this is the guy's name, Dominic Ball. There's been nothing like this since operation of the bullpen. We sourced it inside and certified, whatever. Okay, now it all began to unravel on Tuesday with the FBI and Westfield, Indiana police. They raided a location that was part of the fraudulent creation of all these things. Then, on the following day, Wednesday, July 16th, officers would respond to a second location where they discovered the guy and he'd killed himself.
Ooh.
And that was it. And he made some statements on Facebook right where he committed suicide. Look, posted a lengthy confession that appeared in a private Facebook autograph group that included vital details of the operation's dealing. Okay, look, ready? There has been nothing like this since the operation of bullpen. We sourced it, assigned, certified for 20 years. Ultimate Sports Athletes, one signature dog. Oh, wait, hold on. Where's the part where he says, I wish I could write a book about this. I always took it as a challenge. Started slow and bad and shipped it to the giant that was built. I spent sleepless nights planning what items to counterfeit next. Dude, he put a confession. Oh my God. I had every hologram we ever made extracted from every company's database and put into Excel. So with the touch button, I can type Mahomes and Bin shoots out with every Mahomes sticker and hologram or code card. Every item automated and sorted. I'd spend countless hours scrolling Excel, finding my next score. It was a thrill having every athlete in every sport from every authentication company at your fingertips to produce a signature flawless authenticate with a flawless bootleg hologram and then sell it for half of what a company does by the thousands. That's all I spent my time and my life on. What was the next item to do? The next name, next flawless signature. I was addicted. It was a rush. I wanted out, but the money was too good. I can make 100,000 in a week if I wanted to. The fact that not one dealer knew what we were doing to the athlete in every sport from the education. Wait, hold on. Enjoy the industry, all. I sold over 2 million in just holograms to every avenue I could. Enjoy the industry, all. I just couldn't stop. Bro, at the end of the day, the Lemieux scandal will easily dethrone Operation Bullpen. I guess that was another one. When it comes to overall reach, scandal scope, and shock value, by employing cutting-edge forgery tools such as auto pens, designing and duplicating fake certificates, blah, blah. It is just the beginning. Bro, this is insane. Justin, let me get your reaction. What are your thoughts?
Where do you get all these tools? I mean, for research purposes, man, where do you get all these tools? I want to check what these tools do, man. 350 million. See, that's where you get greedy. You just make a couple million, you throw all that shit away, and then you just live off the interest and make, fucking 300 grand a year for the rest of your life. Like, I don't see how do people fuck this up? Like, I'm not a con artist, but if I was, I would be a goddamn good one because I wouldn't be a fucking idiot. You see these, so there was a debacle in the poker world a couple of years ago. This guy was, so like, if you play like 1-2 poker and you make $15 an hour, like that's pretty good. All right. If you play 2-5, like Aaron, for instance, he'll make anywhere from $30 to $50 an hour. All right. Well, Aaron's a professional. This guy was making like $200 an hour, like because he was cheating. He knew what all the other players had because on the videos he would look. So what he'd do is he'd put his cell phone in his lap, and it was so obvious. He'd put his cell phone in his lap. He'd look at his cards, and then he'd look down, and he could see what everybody else had, and it would give him the option and how he'd make the idea. So when you have these crazy scandals, if you just scaled them back a little bit, you'd never get caught. I just don't understand how these fucking idiots get caught.
Well, it's the same. It's kind of the same mentality that makes people go broke. It's like you can make all this money, but you just can't stop spending or can't stop. You get addicted to a lifestyle, and then you have to keep doing it, even though, you know what I mean? Like, you actually would be like, all right, I'm not changing my lifestyle. I'm out. I'm good for the rest. But
Yeah,
a lot of people,
exactly.
you can't control it. It's a compulsion thing. By the way, somebody said, Muppal said Diego Sanchez was arrested for a drive-by. This gentleman, I might be new here, says, no, wait, look, I found the story. It's real. Justin, this is breaking news. This just got released like an hour ago. No, more than a few hours ago. Guys, sorry, we're going super long today. Ex-UFC fighter arrested on multiple gun charges, including felony for shooting at or from a motor vehicle.
He's smiling in his... Oh, my gosh.
He's smiling. That's a fuck... Oh, I almost cursed. That's a straight-up drive-by, dog. David Martin is a veteran journalist. Wait, ex-UFC... Okay, this is insane. Is currently in custody after he was arrested at a pair of gun-related charges in the early... In New Mexico, yo, with John Jones. He's in Albuquerque shooting up stuff with John Jones. Arrest records show that Sanchez, 43, was hit with 2 charges. What the heck? Who is he shooting at? This is insane. The incident involves Sanchez leaning out of a car window where he's a passenger, firing a shot into the air while passing by a crash. Police filed the vehicle where he denied firing the shot, but told the officers there was a gun in the vehicle. Told police that Sanchez fired the gun while he was in the passenger seat. What? Okay, so this is not like a violent thing. This is him like, yeehaw, like being crazy. Like, you know that scene in, what's it called? That one gangster movie where they're out the truck window shooting the gun in the air. It's like that, I guess. What? Stalwart on the UFC roster. He's okay. This is bad. This is a bad sign that he's smiling.
Legend.
Also looks like he's not training as much anymore. Justin, I'm speechless. Do you have a comment?
Legend, man. What a fucking legend. I love it. I fucking love it. Get fucking nuts, go shoot guns off. I fucking love it. I can't say I've never done that before. Like, dude, just drive around on a back road and fucking start. Dude, man, I don't know.
That's in Michigan time.
That's in Michigan, man.
Who knows? Okay. Anyways, I'm blown away.
Shoot mailboxes off the fucking.
Okay, that's stuff that you do maybe when you're like 15. Dude's like 43.
Not 40. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I was like 15, 16.
Okay, this is crazy. Muppal says, I think drive-by gets special charges. That's some form of terrorism, so I've heard. Oh my God. And Muppal says, Sanchez is a G. All right. We got 4 people on the live now. It's dying down. I think it's time to call it a day. What a crazy story. That was unexpected. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you're still on the stream and you haven't clicked that like button, we'd love for you to click that like button if you did enjoy the show. We really appreciate it. And thank you for all the support. By the way, we grew a little bit last week. So just give you guys some updates on the numbers. We got a couple of more subs. 2217. Let's go. We are on our way to 3,000 subs. That's the goal by the end of the summer. So we shall see what goes down. Oh, you even got a comment on my press conference video. You good? Keep going. You got me into this fight card. Let's go. That fight's the fight to watch. Daniel Zellhuber. We shall see what goes down. Thank you guys so much for joining. And if you do join the membership, let us know what else you want to see. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next video. Take it easy.